Hello, I'm Ginnane. I'm a qualified counsellor, a sound energy healer, a Reiki master, a spiritual life coach, Shamanic practitioner. I offer numerology and card readings as well. And I offer face-to-face sessions through the Wellbeing Centre in Port Macquarie, as well as many online sessions. So I offer counselling for a broad range of different issues that clients come to me for, and depending on how they present and where they are at in their journey, I can then go further and offer more intuitive work. I'm very intuitive. Of all of the services that I offer, my intuitive ability always, for me, comes first. So it leads me to know which way to go. It's like I have a very broad availability of colours on a palette. And depending on how clients come to me, I can use one colour, two colours, or blend colours. So it may be that I just offer counselling to them for, could be grief, it could be end of relationship, could be loss, could be going through a difficult transition in life, which is of course through retirement and the challenges that one faces with that. It can be to do with health issues, ongoing health issues, which can bring up a lot of grief for clients as well. It can be also a different, for many, I feel, women, particularly around that 30, 35, 40, 45 age group, it's almost like they've reached a point of a new direction, and they can come up with a little bit of confusion, a little bit of not knowing which direction to go in. It's like they are almost like wanting to step into something new and need some direction, some clarity, some confidence to do so. So I feel I connect very well with clients. And particularly the first session can be an opportunity for us to build trust. They may then just want a direction with a particular one question, one issue, but as trust builds, then they want me to help them, guide them to find with them the root cause of an issue, a recurring pattern, a blockage as to why they may be feeling confused, why they may be feeling overwhelmed, why, 5 years ago they had more confidence. Where has their confidence gone now? It may raise issues of self-doubt, questioning themselves. So I like to, one of my images for my logo is a sunflower. And it's very much a reminder of life is light and dark. And for me, we all have our stories, we all have our challenges, and that's the dark within the center of the sunflower. And for me, it's just reminding them to shift their focus to the beautiful petals, the yellow petals that surround the darkness. So it's me looking at or helping them to shift their perspective, their mindset, also to see their strengths, not so much focus on their failures or weakness or perceived imperfections. It's focusing also on how can they make a change? What steps can they actively take to bring change into their lives? Which is very empowering for them, because I only come into their lives for a short time. Essentially, my role, I feel, is to empower them that they can manage life better on their own. And challenges come at us unexpectedly, out of the blue. Sometimes we feel that we may be alone in these challenges as well. So for me, my role or my calling is to help others to feel more confident in being able to manage life.
So you talked about the sunflower as your logo, and what is the company name behind you?
My company name is Ginnane, Counsellor and Spiritual Life Coach. which for me encompasses all that I do, because whether it's counselling or spiritual life coach, I always bring the intuitive forward, and sessions can involve just counselling or counselling and some deeply relaxing sound energy healing and Reiki, or we may take it further with that spiritual component where as an energy worker I can pick up on energetic blockages within their body, whether it be intuitively or through sound energy healing. I'm also a shamanic practitioner, so I'm able to see, for me, what's behind the veil, what's behind the curtain. I can, in sessions, whether they be face-to-face or online is very powerful as well, where I can pick up on past life stories that are current for the client's challenges in this lifetime. So for me, on a soul level, we all choose what our karmic challenge is entering into this next life. And when we are birthed, we don't recall what our karmic challenge is. But on a soul level, we've all chosen our karmic challenge. And so we have, whether they be volunteers, whether they be assistants or helpers, can be to trigger us, to trigger those challenges so that we don't run from them, we face it. So it's in my sessions, it can be counselling one-on-one, beautiful, almost like reassurance for clients. But depending on where they are and the journey they have with me, we then can go into much more spiritual work.
Okay, give me an example of someone who has used all of your skills, experiences and talents to help them.
So I had a young woman in the corporate world, she was actually in the medical profession, and although she was very, very good at what she did when she followed the textbook, so to speak, in her private life, it wasn't so easy for her to navigate life. And she was second guessing her decisions. She had trouble when she was in extended family gatherings where she felt less than, even though in her public arena, she was very confident. So after many sessions, we probably had 10 sessions together. At first it was unearthing her story through counselling and questions and answers. But as we progressed, in sound healing, she would see certain images about her childhood. When I did shamanic work with her, which is gentle drumming, sometimes it can be me just sitting here too, and also just seeing images, hearing words. We very much unearthed that the root cause of her issue was her mother. And it went further back to the abuse that her mother had experienced when she was a child, that she hadn't dealt with, she hadn't healed, and she was projecting that onto her daughter. Her insecurity, her self-doubt in herself, and that session, or those many sessions, numerology comes into it very strongly as well. So I was able to give her a numerology reading that sort of mapped out different stages of her life. Well, this is the stage when you were learning. This is the stage when your triggers are showing. This now is the stage when you are healing. And then the fourth stage of her life was now you're off and flying. But that she's done it very, very well. Others, though, can be challenged with facing their fear and taking responsibility. And we need, for me, to be taking responsibility for our story, because we're the ones essentially that heal ourselves. So she was very good. She took responsibility. But when we don't, when we're not disciplined to do the work, and when we go into, for quite a few that I see, into avoidance in many, many forms, it doesn't mean that the pain and the wound is not there. It's just disguised.
So in that instance, or in many instances, people would kind of relieve themselves out of that blockage so that they are confident to move on.
Yes, Yes.
and succeed.
Yes. They very much specifically with this client, she didn't feel seen or heard or valued or validated by her mother, because her mother had a similar story with her own wounding. And by giving this client the space to be validated, to express her pain and reassure her that it's real and that she mattered and her feelings matter, that was when it's almost like the Band-Aid had come off and the healing was able, the light came into the wound and she was able to heal. And then she gained confidence to very much put up boundaries around her mother, and also any other workplace bullying that she may have had, being confident to assert, no, that's not good enough. So one thing leads to another to another.
I know you deal with individuals, but and I know you work with a lot of corporate companies
Yes,
as well.
yes.
So how do you help corporate companies in that, using all your experiences?
With corporate companies and with large groups, it's more so about sharing tips and tools on managing stress, tips and tools on being disciplined to take responsibility for their own self-care, having a self-care routine in place. Whether it's meditation, we don't have to label it as meditation, but it's taking time every day, short, could be little power 1 minute 3 times a day to pause and reset and adjust.
But there will be individuals within the corporate business who are maybe identified to be leaders, and will you be coaching them as well?
Very much so, yes. So just depending on where they're at, for some it's very much one-on-one counselling that they would like as well. So from the large group, they may come to me for more personal counselling, but there are others who wish to feel more confident to take on strong leadership roles. I had a client yesterday, and very much so works in community services, and counselling her so that she felt confident to take the next step forward in a promotion.
I noticed that women are more open to these kind of, mentorship or counseling, How about men?
For me, it can be more of the sensitive men. Men who, and if I look at their numerology, I might see more sensitivity there as well. Men who may be more creative, men who may be more interested in music, the arts. Men also who may have had a very strong divine feminine mother or father that was very inclusive and compassionate. It's not necessarily labeling men as being sensitive, so to speak, as more of what their journey has been, so that they are more open to it as well. They may have had a mother that was more open to listening to their feelings, and father as well. So sometimes, and probably more often than not, I will have partners or wives or mothers that I see that then refer their sons, husbands, partners to me.
But I'm sure men would benefit from what you do, especially if they would, go into a leadership role, be a CEO or some executive, and they would want to empower themselves to do better.
Very much so.
Right? So they would benefit from what you do.
Yes.
So what would make them be open enough to say, I want to take that step and Bernie can help me?
It would be knowing that they're ready to take that step and that they're on board to take the necessary action. It would be possibly, whether it be face-to-face, but often those sort of clients may contact me through Zoom first, which is fine, because they may want a bit of distance. So in that Zoom session, we then build trust. and I then can give them some tips, some tools. We together, collaboratively, create a plan for them. That I had one male, I remember just then, and he was always looking towards his father and grandfather for validation. Am I doing it right? Second guessing himself. And through his sessions, it's like, no, I need to now step away from them and have my own sense of identity, my own sense of self-worth that is not based upon the other older male role models in the family. So he actually stepped forward, and it was through probably 4 or 5 sessions with him, so that he was okay to step away and create a life for him that was not, in a way, reliant on validation from other males in his life, which takes courage.
Yes. I mean, all this opening up and wanting to go forward is courage, right? And it's good. I mean, you need that first step. Once you take that first step, I guess it's okay. In the beginning, you mentioned that this is your calling to help other people. Why do you call it a calling and not a business?
It's a calling because for me it is definitely a passion. It's not something that I just sort of like cognitively work through steps. It's a very much a passion. It's very much intuitive as well. I had dreams and visions of this when I was, and I'd have to say when I was 8 years old. 8 years old, that I would be doing some sort of work like this. And in my 20s and 30s, I then had more visions, dreams of extended work, and I actually saw myself working in groups. So for me, it is a calling, and that takes precedence above all else. It's not me dictating how a session should be. It's very much about the client leading the way, because that's how the client is more empowered. So it is a calling. It's like if someone has a passion, whether it be for creativity, music, singing, whatever the challenges are, they continue with that passion. So it's passion. And I feel that's what's got me through challenges as well, is me striving to keep moving forward along this path.
So if someone wants to come to you, and take this first step forward, how do they contact you?
They can contact me. I have a website, and I also have, they can contact me through WhatsApp, email, my mobile, of course, generally texting, only because of time management. So they can contact me through social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram as well. And I also offer many online classes and courses. So if they were to contact me, it's just not the one-on-one, but I would be leading them into the other services that I offer as well. So for me, there's something, it's like that color palette that I spoke of at the beginning. There's something for most people, and it's blending whatever I have that will be the right fit for whoever comes to me. So they can contact me, as I said, online, Facebook, Instagram.
What is your website? Can you tell us?
So it's Ginnane, Counsellor, Spiritual Life Coach. .com.au.
And your phone number?
0491 015 566.
Okay, very good. Anything else you want to add, Penny?
Thank you, Veronica, for this amazing opportunity, and Selena for helping. And I noticed that you have a very multicoloured shirt on today, so that's for me affirming of the colour palette that I can offer. And if anyone is interested, whether it be for a one-on-one, whether it be also I offer 15-minute free, what I call like a discovery call. So they can touch base with me, see whether they would like to work with me and the best way that we can move forward. So whether that's online, face-to-face. So I'm also at the moment doing a spiritual boot camp for 8 weeks. And I have some, 3 at the moment, self-paced online courses. So they might want to sort of have a distance at the moment and working through something before they actually have a face-to-face as well.